Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to episode number 3 of this NHL 25 Nashville Predators franchise mode here on my channel. Today we're getting into the 2025 NHL Entry Draft. Before we start, make sure to share your support with a like, comment, and subscription, and of course respond to the comments that I leave in that comment section. But let's get into it. So guys, last episode I really just left you with the question of what is our approach for the 2025 draft going to be more than anything else, and here are the comments that we actually had from episode number 2. So the options I gave you guys were, who do we draft second overall? Do we take Matthew Schaefer or the winger that I believe is named DeSantis? Let me just double check that, make sure I'm not getting the name wrong. Yes, DeSantis. So we don't have any scouting report on Joshua DeSantis, so this could be a risky pick, but I mean, he scored a ton of points, 99 points. Another player that looks really good too is Porter Martone. Obviously, was able to score a whopping 131 points in 67 games. Just a point producer, power forward type of player, but maybe not necessarily exactly what we want. Matthew Schaefer didn't score like crazy, 73 points in 68 games. Still very solid, but an interesting option for us to play with here. Besides that, obviously, James Hagens would be the guy to go with, but that is not going to be the case based on where our pick landed. Second question was, do we trade up to get Ruedel as a mid-round steal? Because there is, again, Steven Ruedel is a great option. Looks like he's actually probably going to be better than quite a few guys that get drafted ahead of him. We're not going to take Andreas Kurtz. I'm just not even leaving that as an option. He is a 20-year-old, so probably not exactly what we're looking for. And then the final question was, do we draft Joshua Ravensburgen as Juuse Saros' replacement in 2 years, or go for more of a project goalie? Because if we take a look at the goalies overall, Ravensburgen is going to be really good, but there's also guys like Andrianov, Ivan Kovic, Harnestrom, even Semyon Frolov. Like, there are options in this draft for goalies we can take. I'm not really worried about drafting goalies. I know we're going to be able to get at least one or two, but I would love to get the best one available, even though we do have a decent goalie already. So in response to those comments, the first comment here came from Filip LeBlanc, saying, I would pick DeSantis because he's the EA generated player. He's probably going to be good, especially since he's ranked number 2. Also, I would go for a full-on rebuild, try waiving some of those no movement clauses on some of those top players, and also move up to the mid-first round. So he is saying, yes, go for Ruedel, but he was also saying go for DeSantis too. So 2 right wingers might be a little counterintuitive, but we'll play with that. And then, yeah, we will take a look into those clauses and see if we can maybe, waive certain players. Not that there's really anybody I feel the need to waive this season. Maybe within a season or two, like Stamkos and Marchessault are still very good players. We might look to use O'Reilly or Skjei as trade chip pieces, but besides that, fairly young team here still. We need to let some of these younger guys grow into their abilities and playing styles a little bit more, but yeah, interesting first comment there. Ben Parker said, you need a star forward who can produce points. I would say wait to get your star defenseman since you have Josi. But then he also responded to that, his own comment, saying, even though Matthew Schaefer, I have seen him get up to a 92, he said, I feel like no matter who you pick, you will get a good player. So he's saying kind of just go for it, pick whoever. And then the final comment regarding those questions I left came from Braden Cream, saying trade up to take Ruedel. He looks like an amazing player. He's 5'11", which is a pretty good height. He said also draft Schaefer. He looks great and will eventually take Josi's spot. So that was honestly my train of thought, and my thinking went along with Braden's there, as far as, okay, let's use that high pick to get one of our blue chip pieces, like top prospects in Matthew Schaefer with the number 2 overall pick. The problem with DeSantis I have is he's only 5'9", so he's a little bit undersized, and that's not really going to help us in the playoffs, whereas a 6'3", 195 defenseman is going to help us in the playoffs, in the long term at least. It might not happen in the first couple seasons here, but that was my thinking. And then getting a slightly bigger winger that's pretty much the exact same build as DeSantis with a guy like Ruedel, I think that could actually work out very well in our favor if we, go and get, I don't know, like pick 12 or 13 or something like that. So that's what we're going to go with. That's at least what I'm thinking for the draft, is we'll take Schaefer number 2. and then go and trade up to get Ruedel. But we have, again, lots of assets in this draft at least. The next year we don't have quite as much going on, which is going to make it a lot more difficult. Obviously, this top core with all these no movement clauses makes things a lot more difficult, but it is what it is. That's just something we kind of got to play through here. And that was one of the biggest challenges of this Nashville group and rebuild and everything, is that there's just a lot to play with, but you also can't move that many pieces. So without further ado, let's get to the 2025 NHL Entry Draft, where first things first, yes, who got the first pick? Philly is going to have the first pick, but we're going to look to trade for, let's see if we can go to Utah maybe and get a pick here. What I'm going to offer is going to be a fairly straightforward package. I don't think we're going to trade Ryan O'Reilly right now. We'll probably want to get a better piece for him. He's still got 3 years left on that deal, so maybe in a year or two we actually trade him. But I'm going to go with, who's got, I think we go David Edstrom probably, just because he's kind of my least favorite center prospect out of all the guys we have. And just, doesn't seem like he's really growing all that much, so we'll go with Edstrom, and then I'm going to throw in we're going to go 28. I'm going to hold off on 29, I think, and we'll probably just throw in a second rounder there next year. So we'll go 28 plus the second plus, let's try our 2027 second. So 2 second round picks, a first, and Edstrom in exchange for pick 12. That should be enough to get it through. Okay, it doesn't go through. We can try maybe San Jose's got the next pick at 13. So let's try. They do want Edstrom, but we just traded Edstrom from there, so maybe we hold off on that. I'm thinking maybe Lausanne could be an option. See if that'll go. That might actually work. In exchange for pick 13, just straight up, nothing else. Oh, they'd have too many skaters. Huh, okay. Well, who's their worst skater? Oh, nope, do not discard that trade. I just wanted to switch over to skaters and then select the worst skater they have available. So probably like, Jan Ruda. Does that go through? Yes, it does. Sweet, that's a great deal. Hold on. Okay, so the Flyers are going to make their pick. We'll call a timeout here. And they do, of course, take James Hagens. Not really a surprise there. He's going to be a fabulous player to pair with Matvei Michkov. So that's going to be scary in the future. But fortunately, the Flyers are not in our division, so we don't really have to worry about that too much. Besides that, so now we have, again, pick 2, 13, 29, and then a couple seconds, a third, a couple fourths, and a fifth and a couple sixths. So decent options overall. I'm actually quite happy with what we're looking at there. Let's take a look at the draft class just to kind of predict where our picks are going to land. So we're going to go with Schaefer, and then it's going to be hopefully Ruedel as long as he's on the board. Otherwise, this may just backfire in my face. And then after that, again, we've got pick 29 and then 39. So I think we have to go with a guy like Ravensburgen at 29, take him off the board because he's a 1-year ETA elite-looking goalie. And then after that, we'll probably go with either like a Cole McKinney or a Jack Murtaugh, somebody that, we know is going to be good already, but just needs to be drafted. So, yeah, and Novotny's not a bad option, a high 9. He's decent size, just 3-year ETA. I don't really want to take like Schmidt or Schmidt or LJ Mooney, just because they're so undersized. David Lewandowski could be good. I mean, we'll have to see, but I think we're ready to go with at least our first 3 picks here. So we're gonna go Matthew Schaefer as our number 2 overall selection. Just not really a question. The highest selected player since, again, David Legwand, as we discussed last episode, and 78 overall. Not particularly a great overall. Let's see how DeSantis is, and okay, he's 82. So, DeSantis actually tied for the best overall on the board, but also just a super undersized player. Sure, he's going to be super skillful and everything like that. But let's see how these other picks go. Martone to Seattle. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, he's got a lot of X factors. Wow. So yeah, Martone makes sense. He's a big body, skillful player. And then Michael Misa 5th to Ottawa. That makes sense. Okay, so that's your top 5. Very good players throughout there. So let's go to pick 13. And yes, okay, nice. So Frundell and McQueen are your 6th and 7th overall picks. And then a bunch of other high 6 guys, high 4 guys go off the board. So we actually luck out, and we will have Rubito as the next option. The right-hand Norwegian has a Guy Lafleur comparison, which is always a good thing in this game. If you guys don't know the Guy Lafleur comparison, they almost always, look at that, 81 overall. Oh man, what a pick. That is awesome. But the Guy Lafleur comparison players very rarely bust, so yeah, that is a hugely successful pick for the future of this Nashville team. And then, yeah, Kurtz goes with the very next pick, so not surprising there. So, yeah, we'll go all the way over to pick number 29 now. So we did trade 28 to San Jose. They got Kashwan Aitchison with that 28th overall pick, so a decent pick for them. But with the guy we are going to draft with pick 29, that makes Aitchison look like a terrible pick because Ravensburgen's going to be very good. William Moore was a decent looking pick there by the Penguins too. Okay, so next up, again, we could run the risk of Ravensburgen not being on the board at pick 39. I don't really want to take that risk. I would much rather have some of these other guys off the board instead. But we are also in the need for defensemen too. So maybe like a Alex Huang or Carl Anborn's a little bit. Is there any other right D coming up after that? There's this Cohen guy, which we have literally no idea how good he's going to be. Owen Conrad could be good as well. And then the next D-man, yeah, I'm not really loving what's available. Zilchinsky could be good, but I just worry he's going to be, like, he is going to be a top 6, so... Okay, let's take, we're going to take Ravensburgen here. I'm not running the risk of him not being available because you look at these other goalies coming up after him and it's not really comparable. Like the next guys with Andrianov and Ivan Kovic, they'll be good, but neither of them are 6'5". That's kind of the biggest thing for me is that having a 6'5" Tendy in net compared to a 5'11", 5'11" Juuse Saros, it's not the same thing. So, oh my god, okay, and he's a high elite. Okay, so Joshua Ravensburgen is going to be filthy. He's going to be so good. And he's 72 overall at 18. He had 9 shutouts in the dub this year. That's... Yeah, we just got our starting goalie of the future in the very late first round. Wow, there's literally only 3 more picks in the first round. That is... wow, that is just a hugely successful pick for us. And okay, Mirtka, we did kind of give up a decent defenseman there, 6'6". That's huge. Okay, so we'll go over to pick number 39 now. And at 39, we probably should be able to get, like a top 4, top 6 kind of guy here. I'm just trying to figure out who we want to take here with this pick because we've gotten a right winger, a left D, and a goalie that are all starting pieces. No doubt about it. They're going to be part of our starting lineup. I kind of want to take Carter Bear at this point. I know he's a really solid prospect. As much as I would like to take Alec Tremblay, again, he's on the small side. Gavin's kind of on the small side. Murtaugh's not great. I mean, Murtaugh's the same size as Bear, but I think Carter Bear just plays with enough intensity that he could be really good. So, yeah, let's go with Carter Bear at pick 39 and see how he turns out. Okay, 67 rated, two-way forward. So, two-way forward part's not amazing, but we'll take it. All right, and Bear's number is 11, so that'll probably end up being like Forsberg's probably retired number. Was there any playmakers that would have actually made a lot of sense for us in this range? That's actually what I'm wondering about now. Yeah, maybe Norbert. Tremblay actually was a top 4, so that's a great pick for Chicago. Murtaugh's a two-way. We're really looking... Yeah, I guess I could have gone with Jordan Gavin as like a, that third-line center type of player. That's okay. That's kind of where I'm hoping that... Ooh, Nestoril would have been... Yeah, Nestoril would have been really nice, too. A lot of high top 6 or high top 9s in here. Wow. I'm actually quite surprised with how many guys there are. Kindell, decent pick there. Okay, this second round's quite interesting because I like to see which guys are high 6s, which guys are high 9s. LJ Mooney is a high 9. This Engel guy. Okay, Sjöström was high 6. Ekberg was high 9. Okay, you know what? I'm kind of tempted now, just based on what we've taken, what we've seen. We could take Novotny, who's a guaranteed high 9. I'm actually kind of willing to run the risk on this Jared Cohen guy because we have no idea what he's like. But if he's going to be anything like the rest of this draft class, he's probably going to be either a medium 4 or a high 6 defenseman, which is acceptable, I think, at this height of 5'11", 189. I think he could grow a little bit into a more NHL-sized defenseman, which I think would be really good. So yeah, let's send it on Cohen. I'm going to run the risk here and just hope he's a medium 4 or high 6. And yes, oh my god, he is. Oh, what a pick. Oh my goodness, Jared Cohen slips way back to pick that. He can skate too. Oh my god, that is a blind draft steal. Okay, that might be one of our best picks of this entire series, and we're only in our first draft. So, yeah, we'll see what we can do with Cohen. I do get the feeling, because I've had some U.S. defensemen before that are around this size, overall build, everything coming out of the draft, in previous franchise modes, that they start off really great. Like, they'll be a good overall out of the draft, and then they won't develop for like 3 years. So we'll have to keep an eye on Cohen's development. Maybe we actually put him in the AHL like immediately and give him top roles, because that is a sick defenseman. He could very easily slot in with Tanner Molendyk on the second pair. Yeah, that was the right pick over Conrad for sure. Novotny was only 65 overall. Yes, I'm very happy with that pick. Wow. Okay, so we've got pick number 71 coming up here. Harnestam, Ivan Kovic. Did Andreov get picked? I didn't see him get picked, but he might have been right at the end here. Yes, he did. So he goes to Chicago. That's a sweet pick for the Blackhawks at the end of the first round. I was kind of hoping one of those goalies might be on the board still, but hey, we got Frolov. So if he's a high elite as well with a 2-year ETA, then goodness gracious, we just have the best goaltending prospect pool in the league. And okay, he's high 6, 69 overall still, so that is very solid. Some pretty nicely generated players in this draft. I am actually very happy with how these picks are turning out so far. We have definitely built a bright future already. Even if we botch all the rest of the picks in this draft, like look at what we've got so far. I mean, remember Schaefer's at the below the bottom there as well. So we got Schaefer, Ruhwedel, Ravensburgen, Bear, Cohen, and Frolov. Like, we're set. We're set off of this draft alone. I know we still need some more prospects, but man, what a single draft this is for the Predators. We are going to be set after this. Let's see who else got drafted. Karamov is actually a decent overall. Anybody else? Lewandowski wasn't as good as I thought he was going to be. We could go with Gabriel Daigle, get a third goalie, which then gives us some flexibility with our goalie prospects. I'm actually... I know I've just preached not taking small wingers, but if Ivanov turns out to be an elite winger, that's an absolute W for us. So let's go with Vitaly Ivanov here. And how good is he? Top 9. Okay, 66 overall, so that's actually pretty solid. Nothing outrageous or special, but for 103rd overall, can't really complain about that one. That's a pretty decent pick. Yeah, we're going to take Gabriel Daigle here. I know this is goalie number 3 for the draft, and I don't care. He's 67 overall. Oh my god. Okay, he's only a medium starter, but that's a 121st overall pick. That is a fabulous, fabulous pick for our team. Okay, so we are rolling in this draft. This might be one of the best drafts of I don't even know how long. Like this, the prospects we have pulled from this draft all have NHL potential so far. Like we haven't had a bad pick yet. Knock on wood, because our next pick probably will be bad. Enriquez was good. Neuenschwander was good as well for potential. What are we looking at here now? Top 9 in Morelli. Okay, so for our next pick, I think we're going to go with... I'm going to skip Cristoforo. Spath is not going to turn... Or Spath is not going to turn out. We could go with Henry Brustowicz. Or we could go with Isaac Sorkvist. There's another starting goalie. I think we're good on goalies now, even though Manny Blake looks like a lock as far as a pick goes. Anybody else? Downey. Nichushkin? We might be able to go with Nichushkin. Actually, we'll save Nichushkin for the next pick. And then there's also one more guy that I can guarantee is going to be at least NHL potential at some point in this Rory LeClaire. So we'll take Nichushkin and LeClaire as our last 2 picks because we have two more picks after this one. Owen Griffin could be good. I think we're going to go with Brustowicz just because I have some faith that he's actually going to turn out. So yeah, let's go with Henry Brustowicz. Right-handed U.S. shot defenseman. Okay, he's top 6, so not amazing, but we'll take it. Okay, so Rodin was good. There's gonna be some others that we missed on probably, but oh yeah, Futter would have been Jackson Futter. I don't know how you say it. He would have been a good pick. Nicholas was solid. Gogol was solid. Wow. Okay. So we definitely missed on some. Obviously, Blake was there. We didn't really need Blake. We've already drafted 3 goalies in this draft. Colin Sisson? No. I'm thinking Colton Sissons, which is funny because, Nashville, I wouldn't say legend necessarily, but a very good Nashville player was on that cup run. You guys saw the highlights if you watched the trailer. If you didn't, I recommend you go back and watch it. But we're going to take Yuri Nichushkin as our first 6th round pick here. And he is a medium top 6, only 53 rated, but hey, we will take that. That is a sweet late round Russian pick there. That is awesome. All right, wow, what a draft this has been. And then we'll go over to 192, and at 192 we are guaranteed going to be taking that other top 9 forward that was still available. Just can't really pass up on him at this stage of the draft because we don't have a lot of scouting on the rest of the draft. So, yeah, Rory LeClaire, left-handed U.S. playmaker. Welcome to the Predator system. And he is 53 overall as well. Okay, so still very solid picks for the 6th round. We will absolutely take that. It's not very often that you actually land 2 top... I wouldn't say top end, but like 2 decent potential wingers in the 6th round. Obviously, these guys have tons of development left to do, but my goodness gracious, let's take a look at this team's draft summary. That's just, it doesn't really get better than that. This might be the best draft in Predators history. If you look at the players we just brought in, that's 3 elites to start the draft. 2 top 6, top 4 defensemen and forward in the 2nd round. The 3rd round we get another decent goalie. The 4th round we get was he top 9? Yeah, I don't know if it was top 9. So we get another depth piece, another good goalie that could very easily be our backup, if not starter in the future. Brustowicz, again, another depth D-man, and then more middle 6, bottom 6 wingers in the 6th round. Like, that's just a crazy good draft for the Predators. It doesn't really get better than that. So, all right, what a draft. Talk about management fulfilling their roles here to start off this season, or this off season. Wow, just what a draft. What good group of prospects we're walking away with after that draft. I do wonder if any of these guys in the system at least turned out to actually be like super growth kind of players, like if some of them shot up like crazy during or right before the draft. I'm going to say probably not, actually, looking at it. Yeah, literally no growth from any of the guys that are 18 or 17 here. I guess Gustafsson and Sarin, but they were drafted last year. Yeah, wow, what a group we've got here. This is going to be fun. So there you have it. We just knocked that draft out of the park. That is a great start to this offseason, and really just a good precursor for how hopefully the future of this series is going to go. So anybody expiring? Just the one guy. We're not using scouts properly. They're just doing auto scouting. That's all we've assigned them to do. So yeah, we'll see how that turns out. We've got 9 expiring contract players, so the re-sign phase should go fairly quickly. Nyquist doesn't want to play here, which, understandable. It is Nashville after all. But I do wonder if we could do a sign-in trade with him, maybe. He scored 75 points last year. He was solid in Nashville. Let's see if we can sign him to a 1-year $4.75 million contract. He accepts. Beautiful. We are going to sign, what's his name? Steven Ruido. We're going to sign him right out of the draft. He's just ready to go. 13th overall pick. Zach Benson-esque type of draft steal. Do we need Jan Ruda? I don't know if we necessarily do need Jan Ruda. That's the thing. If we look at the other defensemen we have, actually, yeah, we definitely need Jan Ruda. We need a second pairing. That's really what our team is actually in need of right now. But we will sign Ruda because that is an option. 2 years, 1.6 a year. That's really not bad. Del Gaizo, we'll sign. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And we're actually going to leave Matthew Schaefer unsigned out of the draft, even though, yes, he's a number 2 pick. I think he can develop a little bit more in Erie. I really think he could put up a 100-point season as a D-man. I see him having that type of potential. I'm a little torn on what to do with Cohen. I think we're going to actually sign him out of the draft rather than let him sit, simply because he's just a much better defenseman than a lot of these other guys already. So I think he could take on a prominent role in our Milwaukee system. So yeah, we'll do that. We're going to let a lot of these guys just walk. We're not going to qualify too many of them. Maybe Olsen and maybe McKinnon will get qualified. But besides that, I just don't really feel the need to re-sign a lot of these guys. So, bring in some of the depth guys. This is for defense, at least. We still have forwards to get through. But yeah, with these 3, that's 4 depth D guys. Then we've got 1, 2, 3. I think Molendijk will be in the minors this year. So yeah, we'll go 1, 2, 3. Ufko's 4. Ryan Ufko's actually, or Ufko. Yeah, Ryan Ufko's actually a decent offensive defenseman. And then yeah, we'll have Cohen in there. And then, you got Blankenberg and Stastny kind of in there as well. So there's lots of options on our defensive side. As far as goaltenders go, again, Ravensburgen's already our 5th best goalie in the entire system, and he's 18. Can't really speak highly enough of that. We are going to sign Yatkola, I believe is how you'd say it. But we are going to sign Juha Yatkola to a contract because a high fringe could actually be your backup in the NHL one day. And then we're going to go with, I think we're going to skip on Murray. Yeah, he was not good. But we'll sign Magnus Corona. And then again, let Ravensburgen develop for another year as well. I think those CHL guys just need that extra little bit of time. Milota, I don't know if we're ever going to actually sign him. We'll see. I mean, he is, again, a high fringe as well, so there's options there. The high potentials are actually throwing me off a little bit because I'm not used to that. So we're good on goalies and defense. As far as our right wingers go, I think Dueur's going to be the only other guy we sign here. Our right wing is actually quite solid. Like, we have a couple guys that can play center, and there's just a lot of depth on that right wing. Compared to the left wing still has some players, but not nearly as many. So yeah, that's how our system looks. Very right wing heavy, so we don't really need to draft any more right. Well, we might need to draft 1 or 2 more right wingers. We'll have to wait and see. But really, overall, Evangelista, Leroux, Ruedel, and Kamel, like you're set. You don't need another right winger, and we have Matthew Wood too. So guys like Leroux, and maybe we'll train Ruedel up to play the other wing just because he is a right-handed shot. So that's an option. But yeah, we're set on the right wing. We do not need to draft any more right wingers in the near future. We could even sign O'Hara here too. He actually looks okay. Give him a few years. Why not? But we are going to have to start actually like releasing players too, because we have so many guys in our system. So yeah, Knack's going to be gone. We're going to release Prokop. We're going to release Livingstone too. And Kulanumi. Those guys just, again, not really good enough to be in our system. And, okay. Left wingers overall. Bellows, I guess we'll take. And besides that, I think we're going to release these other 2 24-year-olds. I just don't really see a need to have them in the team. And then centers, where we have actually a decent amount of depth, at least as far as the entire system goes. We are definitely going to sign, I think these 3 guys, they're all young enough that they could still develop. So we'll give them 3 years each, see if any of that pans out between Nielsen, Ingram, and Muzzatti. Muzzatti? Is that how you say his name? Sutter Muzzatti. That is an awesome name. And Willis will not be getting a contract, which is fine. So yeah, that is it. I think we're going to be pretty much full, but we are going to talk. We're going to go have conversations with Stamkos and Marchessault, for sure. Just to see if they want to actually waive their no movement clauses. So that's going to be fun. Actually, I'm not sure if we can do that. Not during the off season, at least. There we go, clause options. Let's see, can you provide us with 3 more teams you'd be willing to be traded to? Nope. Alright, so Stamkos doesn't want to leave. I mean, this is the point of the conversation system. Marchessault, how you feeling? Would you like to be traded? And nope, he would not. Alright, so be it. If the guys are happy with the team being in a rebuild, then sure. We don't really have to do a lot, so let's just send ahead to free agency then. Okay, so we're going to leave, we'll leave those depth guys on the trade block. That's fine. I don't really see the need. You guys are that attached to Matt Murray, like the other Matt Murray? Okay, then. Some decent players available here. Out of free agency. Some pretty good ones, too, if I'm being honest, so. We could go get Matt Duchene back. Bring him back to Nashville, where he was an absolute stud, put up 86 points. Probably not. I don't think we're going to do that, but that could be fun, obviously. We'd have to trade. Actually, would we have to trade? I don't think we would. Obviously, it would be very nice to go for the Gavin McKenna tank and try to get Gavin McKenna, but I don't know if that's a realistic option with this team just based on what we currently have going. I do think if we went out and got an 80-ish rated goalie, somewhere in that range, like, Anton Forsberg, Kevin Lankin, and Jake Allen, somebody like that we could potentially bring in a very, very good piece or a good future piece for a guy like Juuse Saros. Because I think just not having the goaltending would make our team extremely terrible, which would be very fun to watch. But again, Saros is $7.75 million for the next while, 8 years actually. So let's see if anybody is interested. I don't necessarily want to trade Saros, but I think that's probably the most logical move for our team being bad, because I think, again, our goal is to go for the tank overall for getting a guy like Gavin McKenna, hopefully. But maybe we just wait until the offseason's over to trade Saros, because then that will allow us to figure out if the draft is worth pursuing this year. A lot of teams don't want Saros either, which is very interesting. Philly's got some decent prospects in net there too. Not that we need goalie prospects. I would love a first round pick, but I also think that's actually underpayment for what Saros is going to be worth here. So, but that's the thing is, again, there's only like 2 or 3 teams that actually want Saros, and the rest of them don't have the picks to back it up. So we would have to pick up a guy like, Brady McNabb or somebody like that. I think we're just going to sim ahead and finish off this off-season here, and then we'll do the next season in the next episode. But I need your guys' input here on what direction is this team heading. I know we've mentioned quite a bit about going into a full rebuild, going for Gavin McKenna, doing things like that. It makes sense. I can't deny that. That is just probably the trajectory this team is on. But it really also does come down to a matter of how are we going to make this work with all these no movement clauses and guys that want to stay here long term and all of that stuff. So, but while we're at it, while I'm thinking about it, let's go edit Steven Riedel, our newest Nashville Predators NHLer here. He's going to be a great player. I just want to see what his equipment looks like. So he seems to be rocking, True, Bauer, those kind of pieces of equipment. Let's see. Is there a yellow True stick that we can go with? There definitely is. Do we go with the Catalyst? That actually looks pretty sweet. I think we go with the Catalyst X9 for Ruedel. That looks sweet. And then we're going to toss on some probably Bauer skates here. The shadows look sweet. Matches the Nashville fit pretty well. I like the little stash that Riedel's got going too. That's actually... Oh, he's got a slick haircut as well. Nice. Okay, so it looks like he's definitely going with the mustache. Current length's just the short little stash, and then we'll give him the playoff one as the full beard kind of thing there, because Riedel looks awesome. I think he has potential to be a very, very good player for us in the near future. Alright, this should be fun. He's a Danish guy too, which you don't see a ton of Danes turn out great, but hey, number 27, I think that's absolutely Nikolai Ehlers' inspiration. I might be wrong, but I think that is, so... Yeah, absolutely is. Number 27 is Nikolai Ehlers from Denmark, so that is sweet. Okay. I love that. So yeah, Riedel going to be our newest rookie here this year. I'm very much looking forward to seeing him playing. We got other guys like Kamel as well who are going to be very good too. And I think overall, again, we've got $10 million worth of money to play with in free agency. I don't really see the need to do too much with that. Again, maybe we bring in like a Matt Duchene or somebody, but even then, no guarantee that he's actually going to be good. Does he only want 1 year? He does only want 1 year. I want to see if we can just give him no clause and then toss him like $8 million for a season or something like that. Ooh, that's too much. Okay. Let's do 8.5 for 1 year. Give him a modified no trade clause. And give him like a 50%, so half the teams in the league he can't be traded to. I think that's fair. So yeah, let's run that. I think he'll accept that. Like, I honestly wouldn't mind getting Duchene back. So we'll go for one little swing there on Duchene, and if it doesn't pan out, fine by me. It's really not the end of the world. 5th round for Stigo, we're not doing that. I did also talk about getting a better second pair for defense. I don't know if that's necessary, because since that's already bad, it means that our team could perform quite poorly, which would help us in tanking. Mason Lohrei would be a great pickup, but it is going to cost us a 2nd round pick that we don't have. I think we just run it. I think we just run with the guys we have. Yes, we can bring in Duchene, but that's pretty much it. Okay, so we don't get Duchene. That's tough, but it's okay. It's really not the end of the world either. I think Mikhail Granlund played for us for a while. Yes, he did. Well, a little bit. He's a great player, but there's a good chance we just do nothing with our $10 million and sim to the next season. But before we sim to the next season, because I almost always forget to do this at this time, let's go and confirm what our settings are going to be for the next year, because again, we're keeping the randomness of this series going. Okay, so we're going to do draft quality, and then after we do that, we'll also do our trade difficulty. That'll be the other thing, so we didn't really take advantage of that. Can I get rid of this ad? No, I cannot. Alright, so let's get to it. We're going to spin for draft class quality and prospect quality here for this upcoming year. We'll see how it goes. And it looks like draft class quality will be a medium. Okay. I'm just going to mark that down because I will forget otherwise. Okay, so yes, that choice is done. We're also just going to go Control R, refresh the page, because otherwise the spin will end up the exact same. I can guarantee that. So let's spin again here, and we're waiting for prospect quality, which we do not get. Okay, so again, medium draft class quality, not what we're looking for. I swear if it spins it 3 times in a row, I'm going to be a little annoyed. Okay, and Control R, reload that page a 3rd time. Okay, so again, we're aiming for prospect quality, not draft class quality. And we're going to be running a medium. All right, that works for me. It's really nothing too crazy, which is nice. And then, of course, we are going to also run a trade difficulty. I can make an entire new wheel for this. It looks like it deleted it since I don't have a wheel picker account, which is fine. So whatever low, medium, high it lands on here will go low is easy, medium's medium, high is hard. So we're actually hoping for a low spin here, whatever. It doesn't matter if it's prospect or draft class quality, but whatever it lands on, that's what we're sticking with. And it's going to be hard trade difficulty this year, so that's really not going to help us with trades. So that is a little bit rough, but we will play by the rules. Ouch. Okay, so we'll go into rules here again, and then we are going to change a couple settings here. We're going to go to draft class quality. That's funny that the quality was low because we still got good players, but we're going to go medium, and then trade difficulty is going to go on to hard. So really, that was tough. And not only that, but yeah, that'll be what we're rolling with for the next season. So we're not going to be able to make a lot of trades, in my opinion. Easy trade difficulty was actually something we really took for granted this year, and we probably should have taken better advantage of it. So we'll sim to the next season, see how the draft class and everything is looking. It's just a lot of late round picks. Trade me something with meaning. Okay, so we're into the next season here. I need to know what you guys think as far as what is our goal and outlook for this season. Are we trading Juuse, Saros to hopefully make our team worse as far as the standings and performance goes? What is the goal? What are we doing? It looks like we are a conservative buyer somehow. Okay, maybe we saw a ton of growth in the depth pieces this year. What are we looking at here? No, not really. Not actually that. Well, a little bit of growth actually. Guys like LaRue, Kamel, Wood, those are actually good players. Okay, that's the team we're going with as of right now for this upcoming season. We'll hopefully see some growth from a guy like Steven Ruedel. He's definitely one of those players that we really do want to see some nice upgrades and growth from, but we'll have to just sit back, relax, and hope that he can score. And yeah, that is a fabulous place to be to start to wrap up this episode. We're not quite there yet. We're still going to go take a look at the draft class. We're still going to go take a look at obviously our captaincy shouldn't have really changed. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Josi makes sense. Nobody seems to really be wearing the wrong number either, which is great. Svechkov might have the wrong number. Let's see. Does he? Number 40 is correct. And Kamel's 25, yeah, okay. So we're looking solid. We got nothing, no real tricks up our sleeve or any big trades or things like that we're going to see. But obviously Gavin McKenna being the top prospect in this draft is without a doubt the guy that we want to go for. But if we ended up with like a Stenberg or I don't even know how good this Kairos Delainen guy is going to be. I think he's auto-generated. Marek Mikas, we're not going to have a scouting report on. A lot of left wingers, which is actually a good thing. That is primarily what our team needs. I would not even mind an Ethan Belchetz, though. If we could land a 7th overall pick and get Belchetz, that would be fabulous. We do need centers still, too, so centers are never a bad option. So we'll have to just kind of wait and see how this draft treats us, because yeah, I am going to scout the top end because we have pretty much no idea how good or bad these guys are going to be. No report on what's his name there? No report on Mikey Bearchild, which is not great. Matisse Preston is going to be good. Rubric should be good. Even Herman's, again, there should be a lot of good already kind of put in and playing guys. I think Boychuk's also just having a sick year. Viggo, Bjorck, we aren't going to have a report on, which sucks because he's actually a player I am interested in. Oh, I forgot about William Lassell. Oh my goodness. So Lassell could also be an absolutely insanely good player. So yeah, we might be looking to acquire another first round pick for this upcoming draft as well, because there's just so many good players in this draft already as well. Daxton Rudolph is way further down than I expected him to be. I thought he'd be a little bit higher up, but I guess not. Is there did I miss Keaton Verhoof? I think I might have. Because he would be a good defensive prospect. Oh, he's right there. Yeah, end of the first round. Okay. So yeah, Verhoof could be a good option for us too. We are kind of in that weird spot between like having another elite right D on our team versus not. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, obviously, but I think there should be some guys that are actually decent in this draft. I know the top end of the draft will be very good again, so we want to end up somewhere near the top. But let me know, guys, what is the plan of action here for our team? Because I think a Josi. I think a Juuse Saros trade would make a lot of sense. Matt Schaefer is going to eventually be one of the best players on the back end in the league. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. And let's see if everybody will take Ravensburg. But yeah, no trades available currently for Saros. So if we did do that, I think it would make a lot of sense for our team to go and get like an 80 to 82 overall rated goalie, but nothing too insane either. Oh, hello, Nigel. How are you? Are you coming to sit on my lap? Yes. Hello. And GM Nigel wants you guys to let us know. Hey, come here. Oh, sorry. Oh, he's just flopped. We're going to go like this and go, who are we drafting? Which players are we taking? Let us know in the comments below. Isn't that right, Nigel? Yes. Or not who are we drafting, but what trades are we making? We need to manage this Nashville team better. He's happy. He doesn't care. He just gets to hang out with his dad. No second round pick currently this year. Something we could probably explore. But yeah, we'll have to explore lots of trades in this upcoming year. And you guys got to let us know what we're doing with our prospects, our pieces, all of that stuff, because it is going to be another year of hopefully just more growth than anything. Looks like Josi's dropped from franchise to elite potential at 35, which does make sense. He is getting up there a little bit in age. And did we have any other crazy growth? Literally none so far, so that'll be something fun to check in on at the end of the season as I get whacked with a tail in the face, but that'll be something fun to check in on at the end of the next episode's regular season sim. But that is it for this one. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to show your support down below with a like, comment, subscription, and of course leave me comments answering those questions, because there is a lot for us to go over with this team in the next episode. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is Etanyos signing out, and until next time.